Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers' offensive advancement starts by avoiding frugal WR free agency signings. The Pittsburgh Steelers are under increasing scrutiny after struggling to close out the 2024 season. With an offense that failed consistently, it became glaringly obvious that the team needed more firepower, especially at wide receiver. As the season progressed, the need for an additional weapon in the passing game grew more pronounced. To address this, the Steelers traded for veteran wideout Mike Williams from the New York Jets. While Williams played a role in helping the team finish the season, the decision to re-sign him for 2025 is a frugal, short-term fix that does little to solve the Steelers' long-term offensive issues. With Pittsburgh, Williams showed flashes of clutch performance, but his overall production fell short as a secondary receiver. In 2024, Williams posted just 21 receptions for 298 yards and 1 touchdown. These are underwhelming numbers for a player expected to be a consistent contributor. Read more. Mike Tomlin unveils brutally honest insight on Steelers' immediate future. Secondary receivers are supposed to stretch the field, create separation, and offer the quarterback a reliable option in key moments, roles that Williams did not consistently fulfill. While he came through in some clutch situations, his overall impact was limited. Steelers must sign an elite wide receiver in free agency. The problem is that Williams is scheduled to earn around $10 million per year, a salary comparable to veterans like Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods. While both of those players are solid, reliable veterans, none of them are game changers. Signing players of this caliber does not elevate a team to championship contention. They may be good enough to fill a role, but they won't take the offense to the next level. For the Steelers, a team with aspirations of postseason success, committing $10 million a year to a secondary receiver who has not consistently produced at a high level seems like a missed opportunity. General Manager Omar Khan has made some savvy moves in his tenure. He must dig deeper into their financial resources to secure an elite talent. To make real strides toward a championship, Pittsburgh must invest in a playmaking wide receiver who can put up big numbers and elevate the offense. The decision to re-sign Williams could keep the Steelers mired in mediocrity, as it does not address the need for an elite secondary option. Re-signing Mike Williams would be a band-aid solution to Pittsburgh's offensive struggles. The 2024 season was a perfect example of how the Steelers' offense requires more than just competent players to succeed. To compete at the highest level, General Manager Omar Khan must be willing to invest in a higher caliber of talent. Steelers' 2025 draft temptation is bad news for Najee Harris. For teams that could steal Najee Harris away in free agency, Steelers could target talented Vikings quarterback to jumpstart their future. Steelers news, 2026 NFL draft dates, Dante Jackson, TJ Watt, and more. Mark Madden, Justin Fields has better options than staying with Steelers. This space recently floated the largely accepted notion that starting Justin Fields at quarterback next season makes sense for the Steelers. Fields is 25 and has pedigree, having been selected 11th overall in the 2021 NFL Draft. He's mobile and athletic, Lamar Jackson light. If Fields blossoms, perhaps he's the Steelers' long-term answer. If not, he can be a suitable bridge QB till the Steelers draft whoever is. It's a logical gamble. Russell Wilson disagrees. Wilson is lobbying hard to return, saying he wants to finish his career in Pittsburgh. Maybe Wilson already has. Wilson downplayed reports of a rift between him and offensive coordinator Arthur Smith and referred to Mike Tomlin as the best coach of all time. Wilson must buy chapstick in bulk. Fields is a better choice than Wilson. Wilson did adequately in 2024. But so did Fields when he played. Retaining Wilson would feel like settling for mediocrity. Like not moving forward. Fields is younger. He's versatile. Higher ceiling. More exciting. But does Fields want to return to Pittsburgh? Maybe not. If I were him, I don't. If I'm Fields, I don't trust anything about the Steelers' situation. I don't trust Tomlin, any promises he makes, or his prehistoric approach. I don't trust Smith. He's Matt Canada, with more tight ends. I don't trust the Steelers' meager weaponry, or their ability to augment. Watch them draft a defensive lineman in the first round. They played all of 2024 without a WR2. Fields' optimum style isn't an option in Pittsburgh. You can't be Lamar Jackson light if the main priority is not committing turnovers. Fields needs to run the ball 10 to 12 times per game. Fields has to take risks. Fields can't play scared. But that's all the Steelers do. There's word that the New York Jets might be interested in Fields if they move on from Aaron Rodgers. Parting with Rodgers would cost $49 million in dead cap. Fields would be relatively affordable at, say, $18 million per. Maybe less. The Jets' offensive line is about as bad as the Steelers. But they have two excellent wide receivers under contract in Davante Adams and Garrett Wilson. The Jets just hired a new head coach who won't be married to ancient history. The Jets offer Fields a better situation than the Steelers do. The New York Giants need a quarterback. They have Malik Neighbors at wideout. The Steelers may try to get rid of George Pickens, the team's lone playmaker. Dante Jackson issues a warning to Steelers fans who might want Mike Tomlin fired. The Pittsburgh Steelers were one and done in the playoffs once again, and it's led to some calling for Mike Tomlin's job. The Steelers won a Super Bowl in Tomlin's second season, but since then, playoff success has been hard to come by, especially in recent years. The Steelers have not won a playoff game since the 2016 season when they beat the Chiefs in the divisional round. Since then, however, it's been 6 straight losses for Tomlin's Steelers in the postseason. Simply getting to the playoffs doesn't seem to be enough for the fanbase anymore. Cornerback Dante Jackson issued a warning to those who want the team to move on from the longtime Steelers head coach. While appearing on the Christian Kuntz podcast, Jackson told Steelers fans to be careful what they wish for. The message to the Tomlin haters, I would just be like, be careful what you wish for, Jackson said. I've seen in my 6 years in Carolina, I've seen 3 coaches get fired during the season. Some guys go through their whole career and not see one head coach get fired. Period. Not let alone during the season. I've seen 3 get fired during the season. That's crazy. I've been under 3 interim head coaches, and in 6 seasons. Dante Jackson urges Steelers fans to reconsider wanting Mike Tomlin fired. Jackson joined the Steelers last offseason after spending the first 6 years of his career with the Carolina Panthers. His time with the Panthers led him to really appreciate what the Steelers have with Tomlin, especially after watching multiple coaches get fired during the season, which he said on the podcast. It sounds like Jackson is warning Steelers fans that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. If Pittsburgh were to let Tomlin go, they might find themselves in a tough spot finding a head coach who can bring any sort of success to the organization. While Tomlin hasn't been able to get the Steelers to a Super Bowl since the 2010 season, he consistently has this team winning and making the playoffs even when it looks like they have no business doing either of those things. Not many coaches will be able to pull that off. That being said, the goal is to win Super Bowls, and if your team isn't doing that, the seat is going to get hotter for every year you don't accomplish the sport's toughest task. Jackson is right in that the Steelers might have a tough time finding someone who can win consistently, but eventually another deep run is going to have to happen, or it will be officially time to move on from Mike Tomlin once and for all. Steelers' 2025 draft temptation is bad news for Najee Harris. Steelers' offensive advancement starts by avoiding frugal WR free agency signings. For teams that could steal Najee Harris away in free agency, Steelers could target talented Vikings quarterback to jumpstart their future. Steelers news, 2026 NFL draft dates, Dante Jackson, TJ Watt, and more. And you, fan? What do you think about Mike Tomlin's dismissal? Leave your opinion in the comments.